Wireless royalty. It's not a lie. It lives up to that name. Let's get into it. Before we dive into this video, I want to give a huge shout out to ROCCAT for sending out the ROCCAT Leadr. This has been one of my favorite mice to use for content creation as well as gaming, but hands down with content creation, there's like simply nothing like this. And huge shout out to the team over at ROCCAT and Turtle Beach for sending this out to me. This is just a phenomenal device, and I have it right here actually, so you can see I've got the box and I got the product. But yeah, this hands down has been my go-to for all my editing needs. Like literally everything I've been doing as far as on my video editing and my photo editing as well, and as well as audio engineering and mastering has been done using the ROCCAT Leadr. And I know a lot of people have been doing reviews on this product and basically have been promoting it in the sense of how great it is for gaming. Although I haven't really seen anyone do a video where they're promoting how great it is as a tool for content creation and productivity, which is exceptionally good for that, especially if you're writing documents or you're writing scripts. Like I write a lot of scripts for my videos or my written reviews for my website, as well as doing, you know, everyday editing. And this mouse simply makes that such a godsend. And I just don't think a lot of people give it the credit it needs to have for that. So in this video, we're going to do an unboxing, setup, usage, and I'm just going to talk off the top of how I feel about the product. So spoiler alert, it's amazing. So with that being said, I'm Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast and the #1 podcast in the Pacific, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mikhail Kasanova, so catch me over there. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. And if you like what we do here and you want to support, we have Patreon. Link for that is down below. That being said, we're going to go ahead and dive into whether or not the ROCCAT Leadr is the choice mouse that you need to use for your content creating as well as gaming, or if you should go with something else. Although I already gave the spoiler. You should get this. Definitely get this. Let's get to the review. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into this. Always make sure you cut away from yourself. Alright, so you got that out the way. Here we are with the mouse. As you guys can see, this is what it looks like in case. So definitely a bigger mouse than the other that I was using. And then here's the information. So a quick start guide. Let's go ahead and open this up. I can show you guys what's in it. So you got a bunch of stickers, ROCCAT. So you got your set of stickers here. Says set the rules. I like it. I dig that branding. And then the disposable information and quick start installation guide. So this right here shows you everything about how to set it up. And then get that out the way. Let's see what we got here. So micro USB, as you can see here. So USB type A, so this is a 2.0 instead of a 3.0. I mean, technically for mice, you don't need to have 3.0, so this is fine. And then let's pull this out. And so here we are. So it's got the ROCCAT logo here. Pairing button, as you can see. There's a little input for a USB cable. So for your charging cable to slide in. slots in like that. So then you would set it kind of like this and then plug that in. So that's what that looks like. So now you see the mouse. So check this out, right? So look at the buttons. So let's look at it from the front. So scroll, left, right click. I like this. So this is up and down. And then you got a button here for your thumb. So this is kind of what it feels like. And then you've got different aspects of it here. So this is pretty dope. I believe the way that this sits here is you take it and it literally just sits on here, and this is how it charges. The way you sync this, so you plug this into your computer, then you press the sync button and it should sync with the Swarm software, and then you can just go from there. And it just sits. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in, get it set up, and go from there, and I'll give you guys my impressions and opinions on it. So I want to go through a couple of the functionalities that you can use with the ROCCAT Leadr mouse. This is one of the best performance mouses that you can get on the market. And basically, I'm going to show you how to utilize the ROCCAT Swarm software to get the most out of your mouse, and also the different things that you can do with it. As I've shown you with various other ROCCAT products, again, I'm going to show you what it works with this right here, the ROCCAT Leadr. So as you can see here, we've got the screen up. It's to my left, so you can see. And I'm going to actually make this a little bit bigger so you can see how it works overall. So if you go to the settings for the Leadr, so you'll see the Leadr stand, as well as being able to see, when you click on that, you have settings, button assignment, advanced settings. And if you want, you can pin it. You can just pin this to be one of your primary features or items that you can go into with the ROCCAT Swarm software. So under settings, you can select various things from the vertical scroll speed. You can also toggle on one full screen at a time. You can toggle the horizontal tilt speed and tilt mode, Windows pointer speed, which you can also toggle on enable mouse acceleration, or you can enable pointer trails if you want, or if you don't want, you can turn it on and off. So if you do turn it on, like anything else, you just hit apply. And then once you apply it, you'll have that feature that'll be applicable. So I just turned it off because it's not something I technically care for. And then going down further on the left side, you got the double click speed, which by default is set to 7, but you can take it all the way up to 10 or all the way down to 1. And then on the right side, you've got the DPI switcher, which on your mouse, there's a little button, the two buttons on your left click on the side of it that you can click, which if you click it down, it goes down to the very bare minimum, which is 100 or a little bit under, 400 DPI. Then you click it again, you can go to 800 DPI, a third time to 100 DPI, and then a fourth time to 1600 DPI, and a fifth time to 3200 DPI, which is technically where I keep my DPI setting for my mouse. Now, other things you can do is you can do accelerator settings. So you can, by default, that's off, but you can also turn it on if you want custom scroll sensitivity and if you want to do calibrations for your mouse. Now, moving on over to the button assignment section. Now, this lets you see everything that is configured for your mouse. So this is the ROCCAT Leadr here, and you can switch size for buttons depending on if you prefer, to have your macro set to a certain button or not. By default, this is where everything is. So everything is numbered. And the two buttons I was telling you about are actually 6 and 7, which you can also swap out with 8 and 9 if you want, or anywhere else. So you've got a total of about, I want to say 11 buttons total that allow you to do various things. So the 2 buttons on the sides are left and right click. You've got the wheel scroll as well as a toggle right in the center, right up underneath the wheel scroll. You've got another scroll on the side along with 2 buttons right up underneath that, and another button here. And then if you want to go to a different area, you can click advanced setting, which allows you to go to your polling rate. By default, it's set 1000 hertz, but you can go to 125 hertz, 250 hertz, 500 hertz, or up to, the standard 1000 hertz. Now you can also set up sound feedback for DPI change, volume up and down, and profile switch if you want. By default, everything is already turned off and the volume is set to medium. You can also change the settings to distance control unit, which is by default set to very low, or you can change it to low depending on like what is your area. Like I've got a ROCCAT mouse pad, which is a full panel pad. So my travel distance is going to be very, very low. So you can also reset settings, which is the last tab on the left. And on the right, you can set your illumination, which I've got it by default. It's going to be turned on. I set it to breathing. By default, it goes to fully lit. Then you've got blinking, breathing, heartbeat, battery status, and then you got different color effects such as color flow or no color flow. And you can also set the speed to which this will operate, whether it operates fully or not. So this is what fully lit looks like with the color flow, which means it's going to go through the spectrum. This is what blinking would look like by default, where I've got my breathing set up. Then you've also got heartbeat, and you've got battery status. Which battery status would be good if it wasn't for the fact that the Leadr stand basically tells you the battery status in the lower left corner of it, which I'll show you guys shortly. So that's everything here that is with the ROCCAT Swarm software. So let's move on to the next section. So what I have up here is one of the renders for a video I was working on at the time, which is my Ease 9 review for PlayStation 4. And basically what I wanted to show you guys is how this actually functions with using creative software like Premiere Pro. And also it works the same way with a similar functionality in Photoshop and other Adobe products, as well as, various creative products as a whole. Now, let me go ahead and make this more bigger of a screen. So I've got an ultra wide monitor, so you're going to be seeing this in the perspective I see. So this is my timeline here. If I were to move this more over, then you can see how much editing real estate that I have here. Now, one of the real cool features here with the ROCCAT Leadr that I'm able to utilize with my macro switch that's on the left side where my thumb will rest is the ability to scroll up and down the timeline just by holding down or holding up, which makes getting through. I know technically you could use your scroll wheel and you can just scroll, keep pressing that button, scroll button, which allow you to go up and down. But the fact of the matter is I can just press and hold up or down, and it allows me to just go through my timeline. So if there's a certain section of my timeline I need to get to, say I need to go here, and I need to make a cut, and then I need to move down here and make another cut, then I can just, it's all at the touch of a button. Super simple. I absolutely love how incredibly easy everything is to do as far as editing with this. And if I need to set up hotkeys for certain things like cut, paste, copy, then I can also set up macros for this mouse. It's got a lot of potential, which is interesting because for gamers, this is a phenomenal mouse. But if you're going to use this for creativity, which is 90% of what I do, this is going to be the mouse that you want to go with, hands down. As far as the fit and feel for the ROCCAT Leadr, this is honestly one of the most comfortable mouse that I've ever used for anything that I've done as far as editing. I mean, the closest mouse that comes to this is the Microsoft Surface mouse, which is roughly about the same, it's about slightly the same size and form and functionality as this. I use this with my Surface Book 2 all the time, and it's one of the most comfortable mouse, and it's just one that I'm so used to using all the time. And then I've got this, which basically gives me that same functionality and fit and feel with a bunch more that I can do with it. And they both have the same type of optic sensor. The difference is this has Bluetooth technology where I can connect up to I can connect this to 3 different devices via Bluetooth, whereas this one is via its charging dock, and after you sync it via USB 2.0. So that's a little bit of the difference. But as far as which mouse I prefer, if this came in a Bluetooth variation, I would be all over this, using this on all my different platforms. But for usage at my desk, this is what I'm using for all my editing on all of my outlets. But this is my go-to mouse, so can't knock this. But this is definitely one of the goats out there. It feels really good and compact in the hand. Like, I've got big hands. Like, one of the things is I do like the ROCCAT Burst, which is another mouse that I also use and have connected to my desktop. But the difference with this and the ROCCAT Burst is the fact that the ROCCAT Burst is a little small and it does cramp my hand a bit. Whereas this, because I do have bigger hands, it just fits. Like, I can just palm it and it's comfortable. I don't ever feel like my hands or, my fingers are contorting in weird different positions because of how this feels. So it feels great in the hands. All the buttons feel natural and easy to get to. And literally, whether I'm pulling off headshots in Call of Duty, or if I'm trying to do some editing in Premiere Pro or Photoshop, this is the mouse that I'm going to be using. Now, are there any downsides? As far as downsides with this, I really can't think of any. Like, it's literally, you plug it in, you go. You set it and forget it. I want to say as far as battery life goes, I get anywhere from about 25, 30 hours straight off a single charge. And then all I got to do is just put it right back on the dock, which charges it within an hour. I've got a full charge. And one of the things I really like about that is the fact that it can be easily docked. Like, I can literally just put it on the dock and it just starts charging. And it's got this little bar in the bottom left section with, like, it's literally 4 bars, and it tells you how much battery you have left. Like, right now, this recording, I've got 2 bars left on it. If I put it on, it's going to start charging. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll just keep going and going until it's fully charged. And it's simple and easy. Now, the syncing setup process, that's a little bit tricky, especially when you go to trying to set up the software to update the mouse, because you've got to not only update the firmware on the dock, but you've also got to update the firmware on the mouse itself. And the instructions aren't very clear on which you need to do first, because when you plug it in, it'll tell you plug in the charging stand, and then you need to update it from there. But the reality is you actually need to plug in the mouse first, charge and update the mouse through the ROCCAT Swarm software. And then you plug it into the dock and connect it there and sync it, and then you'll be set and ready to go. But aside from that, which is literally the only downside of the confusion of setting that up, it is ultimately one of the best mice you can get out there and the easiest to overall use. I think one of the other downsides to it is that you don't have the AMO software or functionality built into this. So with everything I have going on my setup, everything is configured to work with AMO lighting. And this doesn't have that at all, which I think is due to the fact that this is a product that came before. And correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section below if I'm incorrect on this, but I believe this came before the whole AMO lighting or chroma lighting type of functionality with all the other ROCCAT products. So this just doesn't have it. So this is the only device I'm using for ROCCAT that does not have chroma or, AMO lighting. But it's not a bad side. It's not really a downside. It's just one of the things where I'm like, damn, it would have been cool to have that, especially having like the logo here, the ROCCAT cat to be illuminating along with everything else, aside from just the breathing pattern, which I found to be the most natural. I would have liked to have had everything flow and it just hits this as well. But, maybe in the next revision. But other than that, what do you guys think? Do you have the ROCCAT Leadr? Do you like this mouse? Do you love it? Are there other mouse that you like or you would like for me to cover? Whatever your thoughts are, let's get the conversation down in the comment section below. And if you want to take the conversation further, we do have Discord, so hop in and have a good time there. Link for that is down below as well. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Rocket and Turtle Beach for sending this out to me for review. I deeply, deeply love this product. Like, I'm not saying this just because they sent it to me. I'm saying it because I literally use it all the time. And it's really been this whole setup with the Rocket, with the Vulcan Pro, the Aimo Mousepad XL, with the Burst Pro, and with this, literally everything that I've been using has been purely Rocket, and I love it. Hopefully one day I get to be a brand ambassador for them, because I don't see myself really liking any other product as much as I'm liking Rocket, and I can understand why Dr. Disrespect fully stands behind the brand. But with that being said, let's get the conversation going. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you have the ROCCAT Leadr? Do you have a competitor mouse that you prefer? Whatever your thoughts are, let's get the conversation going down below. And if you want to take it further, we do have Discord where you can hop in and talk to other content creators, people who love gaming, tech, manga, anime, and more. So a bunch of enthusiasts. You can hop in the conversation with the link in the description. If you want to pick one of these up, I have an Amazon affiliate link where you can go and get it off of Amazon, which doesn't charge you anything extra other than paying for the mouse, and I do get a little bit of a kickback there. So with that being said, hope you guys have a great one. I'm Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mikhail Kasanova, so catch me over there. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. So with that being said, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I really want to say mahalo and gracias for doing so. It is truly amazing that I have people that actually enjoy my content. I mean, you made it to the end of the video, so I assume you enjoyed it. If you didn't, hey, there's a dislike button you can always hit. I know, you know, some people like to do that, but hey, whatever. I just am appreciative of the fact that you came through, you watched it, you got to this point. If you want to do me a solid, go ahead and hit the like button if you really liked it. And if you loved it, go ahead and sub for more content like this. If you want to support my work, we've got channel memberships, we got Patreon, and all that will pop up somewhere on the screen here and linked down below. Your support means a lot to me. If you know someone who would enjoy this type of content, go ahead and share it. That's what matters most. You guys watching it and sharing it with someone who might enjoy it, a friend, who knows. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Mahalo again, gracias, and fa'afatai. I will see you on the next one. Yeah, there's 3 different languages I spoke there. So Hawaiian, Spanish, and Samoan. So gives you a little detail as to what I'm mixed with. But with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, and yeah, happy gaming, happy streaming. Have a good one.